Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know what it is. Your boy Professor Pippage back in his bitch on I Traded Agent trying to get active, trying to get live. I got cooked with UJ last night. I overall had the correct idea. I had the wrong ass entry. Something serious right over her. Now look at that thing breaking through. Mm, just based off of the structure, based off of the pattern. What price action looks like right now. I don't have a clue where UJ is going. I think we're coming back to retest this 1 hour support. As we got indicated right over here, but price action is breaking up. Mm, based off of this, we currently are bullish on the 15 minutes. Low, high, higher, low. Didn't create a new high, but we also didn't create a new low. So this price action overall right here is bearish, but as on the 15 minutes, so like the hourly is starting to roll over bearishly. Well, we didn't necessarily break through hourly support, so I can't say that either. But yeah, I know I started off kind of wild, kind of weird, but ultimately looking at AU and UJ tonight. Um, had a mean ass trade from market open on Sunday on UCAD. Had some losses and break evens on AU so far this week, and now just looking to potentially catch continuation buys on AU tonight from a higher time frame perspective. We were somewhat consolidating on a 4 hour like daily time frame. And now we're kind of stuck within this 4 hourly low to this 4 hourly high. Also creating daily supply right up here. We could see price action continue to go bullish though. On some negative charges, looking at price action. We did break above break above structure right over here, grabbing all that liquidity and coming back down. Ultimately, for me, price action really didn't break structure right back in over here from where it came from. Seeing price action break through those structures confidently and cleanly is kind of what gives the details within the market as to say, are we going to continue to go back bullish from this turnaround here, or are we going to continue to go bearish? We didn't necessarily close below structure here, as this ultimate low point is like 66,760. Right here, we came down, like we grabbed some resting liquidity that was right there with the equal lows and then sprouted very vigorously back to the top side. Ultimately, looking for this to come back to somewhere like 67,500 level, anywhere between here and here with this big ass wick. We could come all the way up and close off this wick and still try to roll over bears, but that's why I say like on the higher time from the daily to like somewhere you can identify on the 4 hour. Um, look at it from a higher time frame perspective. Is you go back to that daily, see how we kind of consolidate. We were consolidating. Well, you kind of can make an argument for higher highs and higher lows right up in there, but right up in here, we have that same type of push pullback on the daily time frame. More looking corrective price action versus impulsing. This is real choppy right up in here too, but I don't know. I really can see this as a consolidation area, like right in over here. But ultimately, it's kind of trending to the top side. And the daily does look like it wants to push strong bullish. And that next resistance on the daily wouldn't be all the way back to 68,059. So that's why I say potentially looking for continuation buys on AU tonight. Big, 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 strong bullish candle with another hour and 14 minutes left before it closes. Yeah, so definitely want to see how price action continues to push bullishly as the Asian session opens up. Now, I haven't even updated my charts. I came in hot because I wanted to go live last night and I didn't. And I don't know. I probably would have looked at, or probably would have tried to hit back on UJ once it started to close back within the range. But ultimately, I try to take my shot. I'll outline that here in a second. I just wanted to get AU updated as far as supports and resistance, supply and demand on the lower time frames. And then we gonna see the yeah, we can get rid of this. And I had this identified as continuation bias from right up in here. I did not take them simply because of how price action played in and out over here. Ultimately, my goofy ass, knowing that I should be waiting for this type of price action to set up after seeing this type of price action play out. But ultimately, like down on the 15-minute, as we get that weekly open, we see price action push into the highs right down here in the lower time frame, breaking structure right in over here. So I thought I had a good entry right over here. We get price action to sink. We ultimately came down into an area I had identified right in back in over here as a 15-minute order block. Um, some of my charts that I dropped within the group has it identified, but ultimately price came back and pushed and did not tap into that order block or grab this resting liquidity I had identified right over here. When you blink them charts, you can see the candles. We did not come down to that area where I had identified where I really wanted to get in, which was this entry right over here. Happened during the New York session. I wasn't confident in taking this entry, which is what I originally had identified from the weekend analysis because of how these trades played in and out back in over here. Ultimately, took the first entry down to 15-minute as price action started to close above highs. This one was executed with dynamic risk. So I did not trail the stops on this position in that right down here at 903. They got stopped out as price action manipulated back to the lows. This one, because of where the entry was, I was fortunately able to trail the stops on this trade, and it basically got taken out at break even. Only really covered the commissions right in over here. So I had a small dynamic risk position right over here, stopped out, and then a pretty much break even right here, and then ended up missing the actual takeoff. I actually saw it and was in front of the charts when it was creating this price action right here. But like I said, because of how Sunday night played out, I was second guessing. And then as price action came right back into this area, I was at the charts. I did see it close above. I did not see the retracement, but I also was still gun shy on taking the buys back into this area, which we were looking for from the weekend analysis. But ultimately, we might be able to catch a little bit of something tonight. Right now, it's looking pretty slow. So definitely, when you see price action started to open up A session, D session with not a lot of momentum, then you have to automatically start, or where I automatically start looking to see where can the liquidity be grabbed from on the lower time frames. And once you can potentially identify those areas or those zones, um, then you can potentially see and then set up and just watch and wait for price action to hit those levels and then make a trade or base a trade based off of the reaction. So right here, just kind of identified little 15-minute support and resistance areas. So I want to see how price action closes outside of this little range. So for me, this will potentially be a little no trade range, but then this little area right up in here, 16 pip range. And then what I'm basically looking for to see is if we continue to go bearish, then ultimately price action should come down, close below this resistance. I might be able to catch a retestment for a continuation short back into the 1 hour support. But ultimately on the hour time frame, we have closed above that hourly structure. So based off of psychology that I use, um, it may be more beneficial to wait for this setup to take a buy from down here, but because of where price action will be pushing into based off of bearish structure from like on the 1 hour to 4 hour, this could be a manipulation move pushing into structure before seeing that deeper retracement before going back bullish. So it kind of all depends on how price action breaks out of this 15-minute range for me. Two possible scenarios, two possible setups. Could be looking for going from here. We got about 10 minutes before that 8 o'clock candle open. So yeah. Couldn't say I'd be interested in breakout buy just because of how short the range is. What's up, Big Tom? All right, bro. Here you go. Thank you. Yes, sir. But yeah, definitely would like to see this bear scenario play out a little bit more. Potentially back into this area right down at a 66,930-ish. Potentially take buys from down there to get back to the top side. But if it breaks bullish, I would want to see how price action actually sets up. I wouldn't want to try and call out a specific type of setup because I see a lot of different scenarios that could play out based off of this structure right over here. We could come up and this be our turning point for that deep retracement back into that 1 hour or 1 hour support, 4 hour support before going bullish. That could be a scenario. or we could continue to go bullish and then come back down and respect resistance right up in this area and then go back bullish. So a lot of different scenarios that can potentially play out based off of price action. A lot of different price scenarios that can play out from price action right here. So AU probably best to let price action set up first versus guessing, and then just strike from some old sniper stick entry. Usually the sitting back and wait approach, I usually do miss on the snipers. Usually I like to have a level identified and say, okay, this is where I'm definitely about to shoot from. But just based off of price action right up in here, we have closed above the most recent 1 hour high. So ultimately that tells us we should be looking for continuation buys. If this price action here that went from let's open up so we can see the candles. So as we were bullish here, we didn't come down, create a low, potential lower high, did not create a new high, lower low. This could be our area where we're looking for price action to roll back over bullish. So closing above this high, then seeing a slight retracement and then continue to go bullish, that also could set up and play out. So like I said, a lot of different possible scenarios right now. I would just create or identify price action on a 15-minute time frame is going to create that Asian high. From there, I am always looking for that next point to where price action creates that Asian low. So um, definitely a couple, yeah. So that's what we gonna be at for or with it on AU to see what happens as we push into this 15-minute resistance, 8 o'clock candle opening up in about 7 of them things. So then we gonna roll on through and see what the rest of the charts hitting for. If it does spike into the highs, then oh well, 30, 15. Yeah. Let's see how we look back into there. So potential area where I'll be looking to capture some profits right up in there. But yeah, ultimately outside of that, the only other thing I had lined up was UJ. Man, oh man, I cannot believe I got popped on them shorts. First action spike just a little bit more and got up out of there. So, shit. Was looking for the come. I was looking for the retracement, didn't take the buys, but it spiked the highs, tapped into that order block, and then came back down. The one thing that's interesting about this, we blank everything. This little wick right up in here taps into that area we got identified as that 4 hour order block. Right in here where his resting liquidity is. We have not started breaking structure yet on the hourly or the 4 hour chart. Until we break below this area, we cannot confidently say price action is going to short off. So this right here, this in my eyes is a bullish setup. Blanking them charts, push up, retracement. This is telling me price action wants to go back bullish. Until we close below that 133, 627, 600, 650 area, you're going to be risky on them shots, my boy. Tell you for the deal. Tuesday, April 18th. Until price action closes back below that 1 hour support, you try to take some shots, you might get cooked. Depending on what time you come to the time, depending on the time you come back to the charts. This is definitely looking like it wants to go bullish. Now, had the reaction from tapping into that 4 hour order block came down and broke structure here, and then started pulling back and been doing this right here, then oh yeah, we going to the downside. But it didn't do that. Yes, yeah. So we gonna hold up and pump them brakes and not get pumped fake and get cooked. Yeah, price is right here. Well, no, we couldn't have been right here because we took the shorts over here, got wicked out. Price action leaked over. Yeah. 15-minute time frame. I saw was price action trailing doing this little crumble move. And when it shot down right here, I went down to the 1 minute. And on the 1 minute, it looked like it was getting ready to roll over. So I kind of shot my shot, and then it pump fake to the top side. So right up in there, I'm gonna pop down to the 1 minute. So as price action was in the area, we're looking to try to catch retracement short zone. You know what I'm saying? We broke bearish, came back up, and then kind of broke one more time. And I thought we was gonna go from there. So I took the initial entry, got pump fake to the top side immediately right here. Once it pushed and grabbed above this Asian high, I said, okay, we've now created that Asian high closing above market open price. And I thought we was gonna roll over there, start getting some bearish candles, but then yeah, it did not play out. I had original stops right above the highs. I said if we got above here, then potentially we could keep going bullish, but only came up there to push into that 4-hour order block. Why did not wait for price action to tap into here? I thought we were going to come back down first and then push into there. So ultimately, it kept going bullish, and you got a little fake out to the top side, and down you go. There she blows, boy. There she blows. But like I said, it is crucially important that price action didn't break structure. Ultimately, where the move started from into the high, because had this pushed a little bit more and closed below this area right over here, then yeah, I would have been looking for shorts. But right here, no there. We want to see the bullish come, the bullish play out. I would take buys based off of this setup, based off of this price action pattern. The only thing is, I don't know where I would take buys from, so I don't know 100% how where I would want to see price close above from, and then see a reaction based off of that. But because UJ, like I said, it doesn't always give the deep ass retracements. It'll pull back and find a very shallow retracement supportive area within the market, and then it will take off on you. So if we just following 15-minute structure right now, closing above structures here with this move, ultimately what I would do is identify this area down here, and then this one up here. And I'm sitting back and I'm waiting to see which side breaks first, because this is the first range that it has to break out of to continue to go within the market. Now, with this scenario, or with this setup and idea, you could potentially miss out on the sniper buys as we start to break structural highs back in over here on the lower time frames. But you do have several resistances along the way. This one probably been the most extreme, as price has tapped into that level twice now and rejected and pushed back bear. So we want to see what price action does within this little range right up in here, which is 30 pips and top to the bottom. So yeah, I gotta check the news. I didn't think I seen much um when I looked for it yesterday, last night, whatever the hell that was. Delete, delete, delete what you don't need, keep what you do need. You see price action react from the 4-hour order block. I don't know if I identified that or not. But as you see price action come down, creates a little area, kind of like pause in the market and continue to go bearish. See price action retrace in, grabbing orders, grabbing liquidity. I don't know if it pushed above. I have to zoom in and see, but as you can see, the reaction within the market sent the market bearish. So we come back to that area within the market, we tap within that area, and then we get the reaction. Like I said, this price action ultimately not really breaking the structure where price action kind of broke from. And then you can say higher time frame, 4-hour basis scenario, the most deepest level, it didn't necessarily break yet, is right down in here. So we should be continuing to look for buys based off of this type of price action. But if it starts to break 1-hour support right in up in here, looks like 133.620. I don't know what the number was I called out earlier, but I think it's somewhere right around that area. You see price action closing below, could see anyways the charts. No, GU had that funky price action too. Didn't really know what to make of this, as price action is just taking out the highs, taking out the lows, taking out the highs. Um, we did close above this 1-hour resistance right over here, so I would be looking for continuation buys, probably right back up into an area right up in here. I don't really trade you that often, so like I said, if I come to the charts and it ain't prime and primper, this would be potentially a setup I would be definitely interested in taking. Uh, I would start to kind of try to find something like this, see what the ranges look like. How big is the stop? 36 pips. Yeah, I would definitely, this is the hourly chart, so I would roll down. Let's see what the 15-minute does. 15 is nasty. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. Trying to spike up. Yeah, this could be ugly. So I would wait for price action potentially here. Yeah, you would probably have to wait until price action close above this area to confirm some buys. And then if we went and broke, see, a little 15-minute order block right here. And if we went and closed below here, then we're probably going to continue to go bearish. So that's what it's looking like. But because we closed above that 1 hour resistance, based off the way I trade, based off the way I be reading these markets, we probably gonna go bullish. So I would put my money on this side. But um, you always keep that stop loss in there just in case your ass was wrong. Like people be acting like, oh, because you got a stop loss hit. That mean what? What I mean? I mean you was wrong for one time, yeah. Because when we get down here to UCAD, oh my gosh. But overall, looking at GU trying to roll over bullishly on the hourly, trying to roll 15-minute, it does look like we have already rolled over bullish on the 15-minute. But when price action push and break above structure, I know on higher time frames, once it closes above higher time frame structure, you usually get retracement. So we kind of can sit back and wait and see if there's any type of retracements on GU. But if we start making higher highs and higher lows from right within this area right up in here, definitely catch you one of them higher lows and get busy back into the top side. Probably back up into I say about 125.050 where I'll be looking to try, try to take something off the table just in case price action gets screwy when they get back to the top. But outside of that, clicking over to GJ, when I looked at GJ earlier, it was stuck within the hourly range. It looked like we just closed above the hourly resistance. So ultimately, we want to see how far this does retrace to before it continues to go back bullish, if it does retrace that far. But yeah, outside of that, we are now looking for a continuation buy zone. So if we do get a breakout on this potential price action right up in here, that would be okay with the way that we trade because we say we want to see price action push out like this. We want to see it extend to the top side. And then as it retrace is when we start to get ready to take buys again. Bullish continuation zones are breaking retest trades. So that is the prime setup that we like to take quite often. And yeah, that's what it is. If it breaks and goes bearish, wouldn't want to necessarily try to identify any shorts until we start closing below this possible sell below area. Those are breakout shorts. And those are breakout shorts because we have a potential 1 hour order block identified down here, right below. So I generally don't trade order blocks. If I see price action closing below higher time frame structure and I see price action setting up to go bearish, I generally a short into that order block and then let whatever happens. Had them stops trailed just in case you wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because if you wrong, you wrong. And then get back busy next time you see the setup. So ultimately, that's how we're gonna play, and that's how we're gonna push it. Higher time frame, 4 hour level. That's kind of funky. I would say 4 hour support is way down here. Definitely, if you get price action closing back down here, we definitely the rolled over bearish on a 1 hour and at least probably the 4 hour as well. So yeah, we gonna see. And then my ex baby mama over here, you can't. We had these trades called out on last week's one of them videos from last week. We had this area identified, basically same kind of idea we saw on what was that GU close above that hourly structure, and what we saw was as price action closed above this hourly structure that pushed you into the lows. We pushed up, we came back and identified and said, okay, if price action happens to pull all the way back down, taps into this little area right here, we're gonna get busy to the top side. And guess what the happened? You would never believe it. He was like, get the out of here. As we bumped down to the 15-minute, price action slammed into that entry right over there. Um, Yesterday during the Asian session, and yeah, we rode that bit all the way to the top side. This price action got funky and got started to chop around right over and over here. I had levels identified where potentially I wanted to take profit one, take profit two, all that type of stuff. Just because I generally saw this as a retracement move back into higher time frame structure, but as it started to come up, and I let me see what time. Yeah, hold up. I don't know. Yeah. I was watching this on the 1 minute. And so as price action starts to get to the area where I generally want to take profits in, start watching it down on the lower time frame, start seeing where potential levels of where you could potentially start to capture profits or see if you see any breaks or structures below certain levels like this right here, pushing up and seeing price action close below there will be a sign, oh shit, you starting to break bullish structure. We could potentially be setting up a retracement. As you see, as it does close below that structures, those initial structures right on over here, it does turn around and retrace. So like I said, as price action is pushing higher highs and higher lows, I am ultimately trailing. Um, Trailing the stop, and then as I see us push up here, create the high, comes up and retest that high, and then break it. Yeah, close 90%. Had the trailer in. I'll have to go back at the terminal and see what the trailer was, but I think I ended up closing simply because I did see price action come back down and push up and then failed to break this high. When I had that trailer somewhere down here, I ended up closing. I don't think I got it way up here. I think I closed somewhere down here. The trailer that was the trailer that was running. Um, yeah, and that was pretty much it. But ultimately it was a nice ass trade. Let me see if we can find the beginning. What we're talking about. Oh shit. Hold up, who that? Who that? We that. Call it grid on the track. They say, who that? All right, so this is USD CAD. Right back in over here. Where's the beginning? GU. UJ last night before he got cooked. GU. Yeah. Yeah, what the hell? Okay, yeah. So weekend analysis. Had that UCAD identified and into the group chat. It was like, you know what I'm saying? We close above structure. Price action pushes up. That's what we wait for. We wait for the retracement to the height of the every, and then we get it in. Ultimately, like I said, was looking for it to come all the way back into 4 hour resistance. I would have bumped down to a lower time frame and dissected this price action right up in here. Drew up some levels where I thought price action was going to pull back to, take profits and all that good shit. But we see how it ultimately played out. It got close. It got close. And from where we had an entry at, you know what I'm saying? 70 of them things closed right up in here. From 60 to 70 pip range, and then the trailer closed right down here on the 50 something pip range. But ultimately, I was really excited. And then that's kind of why I didn't really push too hard to trade last night. Like I said, I did get cooked on those two positions, but it was dynamic risk. I wasn't too hard pressed to get into the market. I almost didn't take these shorts, but when I came to the chart and saw this price action here, and I was waiting for that retracement, um, definitely started shooting, and yeah, I got shot down. Um, I don't know. I didn't see that scenario of price action just tapping into that order block and then pushing back down, but we're gonna see. And then here go what we was looking for. We need to start closing above some of these highs to try to say that we're potentially trying to roll over bullish. And then if we push up in the here and start to retrace any tiny amount of bit, I might hop up in that thing for some more. But we're gonna have to see that though. Um, it is 8 o'clock, so I don't know what minute. Let's see. Uh, all right, so down here we bearish. Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So high to low, lower high. You can say lower low. So if we close above here, then potentially we could be starting to roll over bullish. But we got to see it though. So watching it on the 1 minute, and it really doesn't make a big difference until we get back up into this red zone. But um, this will be sort of building that confidence to say, okay, well, we are trying to push bullish. I want to take a buy. We are pushing bullish. We pushing past the first resistance. Oh, we starting to pull back. Oh, we starting to go back bullish. I should have hopped in by now. It's not going bearish. The price action is bullish. So let's take a buy because we want to see, that type shit is like putting yourself in the zone, getting psyched up to be like, I'm about to get in this business. It's pushing bullish. I wanted it to go bullish. I thought it probably should have went bullish. And there we go. Bam, let's hop in. Stops right beneath, just in case we wrong. Keep them stops in, because if you don't put them stops, that's how you tear up your account. Oh shit, we might have missed on AU. It done bust out. It done bust out. Okay. So we could just be creating that Asian high. Asian high, if it just leaked to the downside right quick, ooh, that might be crucial. I don't know. I don't know my thing. Where would I want it to retrace to take the buys? Let's see. We've already came back and retested that. So that would have been my first guess to say I want to take buys from down here. Dissect this price action right up in here, find me an entry, and then bing, bang, boom. But we have missed that entry. So potentially, if we say high, low, lower, high, lower, low, we came back closing above, trying to break above structure here. So we would potentially come looking back in over here. And I don't really see over here. I want to get retested just because the price action really doesn't move. So we're going to have to see, baby. We just going to have to see. And then that was another thing that kind of jacked me up last night on the charts was AU went bullish, and so did UJ went bullish. But UJ's push bullish was to get the liquidity from that order block, and then AU's push bullish was to damn push bullish, because we were talking about this in the group chat as far as was price action bullish or bearish at this point in the Asia. The way I had it identified was that price action was still pushing bears. We still have reason to believe that price action can go bearish from here simply because we're making lower highs and lower lows. You know what I'm saying? Price action could have easily dropped and continued to go bearish from where it was last night. But as we see, we get this initial spike. And like I said, because I hopped into UJ, it made me kind of question who was pump faking, AU or UJ. And as we can see, AU pushed to the top side, breaking the Asian high. We did not get a retest of that Asian high. Ooh, that's something I identified just now. So if this did start to leak and start to come back down and break through support, I would, hell yeah, definitely take a buy. But yeah, I can't get away all the trademark secrets. But yeah, I love, yeah, that looks good. That looks good there, buddy. Yeah. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to influence anybody. I just want to trade. I'm just a trader. I'm just a trader. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Yeah, somewhere right over there. Let's see how we would influence these stop lossing on these. 13 pips, ultimately 22. Ooh, that's all up in the focal point range. We like them 22 pip stocks. Then ultimately just be targeting back into to get some more orders. Go back to looking at just the hold on. Am I thinking about the wrong damn chart? Gotta be. Yeah, we're looking for the continuations into targeting right up and up. Then we can get rid of this. That's if we get the retracement. If it don't retrace that far, then potentially this setup probably won't happen. But with the way price action developing on the lower time frame, we might be able to get that retracement and then might be able to get that tap from London. I don't know. We could go. We didn't go better. That's fine. UJ, was that the order block one? Yeah, that's what we were looking for. Continuation. Try to grab some more orders from out of this area, right up in this area, right up in here. I would even like to see it push above just a little bit and then roll back over, but it could be bullish. And this be the thing when you be fucking trading multiple pairs at one time, you kind of lose your sense of direction. We did break above that daily high right in over here. Yeah, we were looking to see if we were going to break through this 4-hourly order block, see how many orders are still resting within this level. And we got equal highs right up there, resting liquidity. Yeah. So you got a decision to make, my friend. So the decision is, do we think price action is just coming back and just tapping in to grab more orders to go bearish? Or do we think we got enough gas to push through, come up here, grab some more liquidity, and then roll over and go bearish? Or do we just continue to go bullish? I don't know yet, my friends. We need to close and break some structures on the lower time frames. And then I tell you which the way I think it's going to go. So yes, this is what we want to see. We want to see price action. Push bullishly and boss them up. Boss them up. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we could potentially get rid of those. I need to be able to see what them candles look like. I do see that. This is the hourly too. I see a lot of different places where price action could retrace to before going back bullish. If it's going to continue to go bullish, we just got to sit back and see. This right here, this choppy shit is when you get cooked if you ain't patient. Just like on UJ last night. I thought I saw what I wanted. I thought I saw enough. I didn't see enough, obviously. And we smashed over to the downside. I knew we was going bearish. I just didn't time it right. Gold. Let me see. I think I had some. Yeah, I had a call on gold last night. It broke out and did his thizzle to the top side, but ultimately probably would have got. Oh no, yeah. This is that TP1 area we are looking at to get up out of that thing, and ultimately, if whoever, if anybody took those trades, we did have another. Oh no, that was TP2. TP1 was right down here. We pushed up, smashed up TP1. TP2 was at this area, right? We had identified from the higher time frames, and then if it pushed all the way into resistance, which it eventually did, but based off of the way we took the trade last night, you probably would have got stopped out before you hit ultimate targets. But look at that shit. That shit is smooth, right? You know what I'm saying? That shit is smooth, right? Let me show you the before picture. Okay, we got that. Yeah. We got that. Just go. This is right here. Yeah, we got that. Oh, we got that. Let's get them bars, baby. Because we got that. I don't know if I dropped any more of the detailed shots of gold. I don't think I did. Let me see. No, I don't think I did. All right, either way. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to continue bullish. Right now it is bullish, so just look for higher highs and higher lows. Higher highs and higher lows. Ultimately, the see what we got right here. Boom and boom. It's completely different trying to trade when you're trying to explain what you're looking for, because I feel like sometimes when I'm trying to explain what I'm looking for, I tend to overlook certain key things within the market. Um, that's why I generally don't like to trade live. But outside of that, just trying to teach it and not be necessary. I'm looking for a setup right now. I'm looking to get active. Um, but everything is just was in the middle of the range. And like we said on AU, we decided we're gonna look to see the breakout. We could take these continuation buys, but we pushing into structure looking left where we potentially think price action could short from. Now we could push bullish right up through this bit, but we starting to shorten the range. A quick 20 pipper, and then if you hopped in from down here, um, I think I want to see a little bit of a retracement before hopping in right here. I do like that we closed or pushed above here. I do think I want to see that pullback to create that Asian low before hopping in. If it takes off, it just takes off and I don't get in. Yeah. Looking at it from 1 minute, you can see kind of what I'm looking for a little bit clear. So right around that 5 o'clock Eastern time, market does kind of like a reset. And if you know anything about the market, from like 5 to 6, you don't really want to trade those times simply because the spreads widen, the market's basically resetting, getting ready for the next, the first session, which is the Asian session. I like trading the Asian session because of it basically starts up the market. You really can get a good view of what the market is wanting to do or where it's going based off of the Asian session. A lot of people say it's the New York session. Well, I feel like people say it's the New York session because the New York brings the momentum, but the Asian really can identify and point out where the market is going because it is the open and it is the start of each and every trading day. But what I'm looking for here is from that 5 to 6 o'clock time frame or time period when that's over in the Asian session, where I consider the Asian session, just because it's like the Tokyo and everything on that side of the world starting to open up. Um, when I did my research way back then, I found that the 6 o'clock hour is when like certain markets are certain, like you got the Frankfurt over there, you got the Tokyo, you got the Sydney, you got there's a lot of different time zones that's overseas, and it's like um, I just started identifying from the 6 o'clock is when, like compared to like the US, our 8 o'clock. So uh, that's when I consider the market to be open. And then at 8 o'clock is usually when I see like the momentum jump into the market. I usually try and trade from 7 to 11, but what we're looking at right here is price action open from that 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock dead hour. Don't want to trade spreads widen. So as we're looking at this push up, we say, okay, well, price action from its, the market open, we push bullish. What we're looking for to see is, do we get a retracement that pushes back past that opening point to say, okay, now we've got a high and a low from the market open. What's the price action going to do from there? Well, on the way to creating that Asian high, we broke 15-minute structure to the top side. We do look like we pushed back into 1 hour resistance. I don't think this is identified truly. I think it's just identified based off of the area. Um, but when I say truly, it's not truly identifying the exact supply area I'm looking for price action to react from. It's a general area based off of our time frame candle perspective. So as this pushes up and creates that um Asian open, that market, the, like I said, market open, Asian the high, come down and look to see if we push back below that point to create that low, and then from that point, like I said, we can potentially base a trade based off of that. Like right over here, we closed above the structure. So now that we're pushing and creating that high above structure, that pullback would then be the retracement um based off of range, creating the low, and then potentially look for the continuation buys based off of that formation and chart pattern. But we gonna see. It's about to set up. We about to see. We about to find out. Am I talking that bush, or does price action actually play out like that? So when we look at it from last night's price action, we got the 6 o'clock candle right in back and over here. We got price action just opened up, bearish, 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 bearish. We create that Asian low. How do we know that? Because we started to pull back and push above that point where market open right back and over here, never breaking that low. And we zooted to the top side. Now, at the time, when I'm looking for a trade and trying to hop into the market, I kind of identified this as the high because it sort of pushed above that high, but it didn't necessarily continue any bullish formation above that high. So that's why I have it identified as Asian high, Asian low like that. Um, Ultimately, if I would have came in after the fact, I don't know why I would potentially identify as the Asian high if I didn't respect that this was it. Potentially anyway up here, but I don't really see a true break away from that area and a true retest there. I guess you could. So right back in over here, if you extend, this being that low, we push, break above, this being that high, sort of stall around right back in here before expanding, come back and retest. That's how I kind of confirm whether the true breakout to that side was the actual way price action intended to go, because you usually get a break and retest of that area before expanding, continuing to go higher. So right in over here, what I would do is now identify that area as the Asian high. And then as it comes out, if it closes below that opening point within the market, we can identify that low, and then wherever price action breaks out. I do ultimately feel that we could continue to go bullish on because, like I said, on the way of creating that Asian high, we broke structure looking left. And yeah, that could give us a little boost to the top side, but we gonna see. If it does continue to go bearish, then potentially could come back and start framing that potential scenario. But I do ultimately think I'll keep this like this. I don't know. It gets when you get price action like this, it does make it a little tricky. That does I think it could potentially help your strategy as you can say, okay, because you don't necessarily get the exact same setups and scenarios every day or every session within the market. You generally get similar scenarios, but not the same exact setup and scenario every time. So then you have to check your rules versus what the market is actually doing to say, okay, well, usually I like to see a push and then a pullback to try to identify that high and the low. Right here, you kind of consolidate it. So I originally had it, identify like that. But we I really don't say that this is incorrect at the moment because we generally just haven't come back and retested that area. This could be the high, the Asian high, as we got the break here, the retest and the expansion. That could be, the retest of that Asian high, and so on. We going and going and so forth. Um, as you potentially continue to watch the charts and continue to learn how to identify Asian highs and lows, you'll see that the market comes and respects those areas within the market. You got the Asian open right over here, got the high and low identified. We come right back in over here, pretty much the same area. But as price action breaks away and comes back and retests, pretty much right in that same exact area. It didn't actually touch here, so I could be expecting a deeper retracement to come back and actually really retest these areas within the market and potentially see if price action holds up and push price back into the highs. So a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different things to look for. The key thing is to be patient and just kind of look for the momentum, see when price action takes off, where it takes off from, and kind of identify which way it potentially wants to go. See, usually a little choppy too. GU ain't hitting on nothing. Consolidating right here. GJ. In the game, I forgot the game was on. UCAD. Um. Uh. Yeah, I saw the same exact setup again. Same thing I saw here to get in for this. I saw right in back and over here. I just didn't trust it just because I don't trade UJ that often. I didn't know if this potential scenario would play out. Seeing as how this is not my primary pair, I wasn't necessarily willing to risk getting in. But it definitely gave you that same type of price action pattern set up, pushing to the highs. Once I saw this close above structure, I knew to look back left where price action came from, potentially set up the next buying potential. Hopped the knees last night, got trailed out right back and up in here. It did pull back, kind of similar scenario setup as what happened right back in over here. And then, yeah, it's now pushing back to the top side. I don't know if it's going to make it all the way back up here what we were initially aiming for, just because of how choppy this price action is. But potentially, as we make lower lows and lower highs right here, we see the break above structure right back in over here. Potentially a pullback where we don't break the low. Could have got in from somewhere right down in there. And then you're looking at 33 of them things potentially could have had and chopped off and then be floating up 24 if you left a runner. Um, yeah, real easy, real simple. But I think the what makes it real easy, real simple is coming to the charts and looking and trying to identify those areas where you want to trade from, and then waiting to see if they hit. I'm like probably 100%. I would be a 100% trader if I took the time to sit and wait, like this trade right here we had identified from last week. It's like, oh, okay, I missed the actual impulse, but if it pull back, bitch, I'm getting in. If we sit back and wait on those type of setups, man, crushing the game. See, like when I say sit back and wait, last night I didn't really sit back and wait. I thought I saw what I needed to saw and hopped in. The trade was there. I just hopped in too damn early because I didn't have this possible scenario in my brain, in my Rolodex. It wasn't feasible last night for price action to push up into that 4 hour order block before reacting bears last night. I just didn't think of that. So when it started to react that way, I just didn't move the stops and I just got popped. But had I been thinking about that, I'm like, okay, well, let's wait and see. Let's see if we do push into that order block first before trying to snipe some shorts. And then as you have that area identified uh prior to, and you say, oh shit, price just pushed into that area. It didn't go far up in there. If you get rid of that, it didn't go real far up in there, but it went in. And then what happened after it tapped up in that in? It rolled over bears, lower lows and lower highs. On the major time frame, you got the high to the low, lower high, and it kicked over bears some more. So any of these pullbacks, hell yeah, get busy to the downside, but I try to hop in too early. I pulled for a couple pills. Let's see how much we got smacked out before we turn around. 12 more pips. 12 more pips. And dreams could have came true. And I didn't even want the whole cookie bag. I just wanted a little sample piece. I was looking for 21 pips here, 32 pips there. It ended up going 60 of them things. And they're gonna take me out for 12 pips. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. But yeah, it be like that sometimes, and some people go over the edge because shit like this be happening and you can't figure out why. You be like, bro, what's wrong with my strategy, bro? I keep getting faked out. Why? Like, you just need to spread the charts out, bro. Go look back at the higher time frame, see what it actually touched, see where it actually went, and then you figure that shit out. Find somebody who know what the fuck they talking about. Cause there's a lot of them boys out there pump faking right now, be trying to identify something on the charts, and it'd be like, nigga, what? That don't even make sense. You got to hit as an order block, but did nothing happen once price action pushed into that level. Yeah, if you start seeing levels like this in the market, it ain't identified and it ain't clear until you see the reaction coming away. If this was trying to go bullish and I saw one like over here, it's another chart where something like that is setting up. Who got it? I'm gonna see it and I'm gonna point it out. Did it go? Somebody's sitting on a bullish order block for it to push back bullish. Let me see. And I saw it, but I didn't identify it. I think it was this one. Yeah, this right here. So we look for the reaction as price comes back into those areas that we identify. Price action retrace. It tapped into here, this little gray candle right here. I think this is the one that I saw early that I didn't identify. You can't really say that this is the order block right here until you see the reaction afterwards. So you can build like your own built-in indicator. Say, okay, well, if I think this is the order block right here based off where the candle formation is, I see price action tap into that area. And I look at the reaction. We broke above structure. So yeah, if we can stay above, continue high highs and high lows, respecting the lows back in over here, then yeah, that could effectively been an order block, price action tap back in, and there you go to the top side. I know I'm not completely explaining what an order block is or how it's formed and all that shit, but that's for you to go do your own damn research and figure out. Shows you how to identify. Now go look up, what that means and who put it there and how I got there, and then come back and get busy. Oh, listen up, my friend. Oh, that's what I meant to go back to. The news, my friend. I was doing it. Cat had news this morning. I forgot about that. Yeah. Took the market to the downside a little bit. Going into tomorrow, we don't really see too much of anything. Some yellow photo, some NZD, red photo news, USD, unemployment claims on Thursday. But I plan to try to be up out of the market by then. But ooh, so if that's a order block, baby, we got some gas. But potentially could have missed on the entry. No retracement, baby. No retracement. If it breaks the high, I think it's gonna go. So potentially ain't got nothing on AU right now. UJ ain't close to breaking out the range. So pretty much this can help you from even taking trades prematurely. You say, okay, well, I want to take buys here, where ultimately the 15-minute support and resistance is up here and down there. Yeah, we ain't even come close to retesting either one of those areas yet to say, okay, we want to go this way or we want to go that way. So then you can just sit on your hands and just wait and say, okay, well, I wanted to get in earlier, but it wasn't set up right. So now it's down here. Okay, does it look proper? Does it look like it's going to take off to the downside? What time is it? Where are we at in the market? So are we due for a retracement? Is the higher time frame look like it's want to go bearish? All those thought processes have to start taking over now once if price action gets down here or back up in here. And then you say, okay, well, confidently, I sat back, I waited, I looked to see what price action was going to do. It got to a place where I thought I could execute a trade. I hopped in. Now you do need to know about the market and risk management and all that other shit before you go and make that decision. But if you done took them steps and them courses and them pathways, yeah, it's time to get active, cuz. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna hop in the shit. I don't see nothing, baby. We just sitting back. I do like this UCAD though. I like this response, even though it is very choppy. We did come back and touch right back in and over structure right over here, and then respond bullish. Breaking structure back from where price action came from. This is a 15-minute time frame, so those structures aren't really necessarily the strongest to be comparing to, but as you can see, you can pick all this fuckery up in here. It's all done. It's all done, my friend. It's time to go for fresh eyes. Um, but yeah, ultimately create a new 1 hour resistance, 1 hour support range. We have pulled back into a supportive area within the market, within that range, and we did react and roll over bullish. So on the lower time frames, we could be looking for continuation buys, but it looked kind of shaky right now. When I see price action doing this, this is when I started thinking, okay, the market's not moving. What's going to cause it to move? We ain't got no news coming up, so a liquidity grab is coming. All this jumbled ass price right here, where price ain't just stroking along. Right here, you had no doubt price wanted to go bullish. It went bullish. Back in over here, you had no doubt price actually wanted to go bullish, and it went bullish. Right here, I don't know what you trying to do, bitch. You better get your shit together though, because I'm trying to make some money. I need that shit. Dr. Pepper, chicken sounds and fries and shit. Dr. Pepper drink. Chicken sandwich, some waffle fries. That's what it was. Give me a chicken sandwich, some waffle fries. Dr. Pepper drink. But yeah, ultimately, I do think it's gonna be a sit back and chill night. I am still cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over this trade right here. I don't usually shoot for the home run every time. So as this came into the zone and then started to take off, I was like, oh shit, we about to go. We about to go. And I was more surprised, like I said, because I don't trade UCAD that often. So to be able to identify that as it's coming in the front play, foreplay, however you fruition, yeah, as it come into that shit, then we hop in and yeah, it feels delicious. AU, we are expecting retracements on AU right now. It's pump faking. 9 o'clock usually brings some more gas within the market. So that's the next thing I'm looking and waiting for. But definitely waiting. I'm sitting on my hands, but I think I'm about to slide because the game on. I missed the whole first half. I wanted to come on and hop on last night, but I had other engagement. I had to jump in some shots, not no trade shots, different shots. Don't worry about that. You don't know about that, but ultimately finally did take a loss after last week's win streak. So pretty much 7-day win streak gone after pretty much the first couple of trades of the week. Now we're looking to see if we can bounce back and catch some gas for the night. But ultimately, I think I'm about to slide, cuz I ain't don't see nothing else going on right here, cuz. I ain't about to just keep looking at these charts because that's how you get faked out. Cuz I like to let price action push and create structure and show me where it wants to go. And then I just hop in based on what he's doing. Yo, because all that other shit just waste time. Y'all, see, y'all. But I think I'm about to slide. If you out there and you watching, I appreciate you. Won't tell. Hit that like button for me though, because I appreciate you. And I hope you appreciate me. I'm just trying to drop off the gas. The gas, maybe. If you got questions, though, hit them comments. Oh yeah, just Twitter finger that thing real quick, and I reply back real quick because I be wondering if people got questions. I be wondering if people take these trades. Probably not, but I do. Them bitches be hitting. My shirt, my shoe, they come from Fendi. Red can't fit in my jeans. I'm rocking skinnies. Walk in the bank. Come on. Shaking ass hands. Talk to him. Come on there. Get over there. There you go. All right, so we got Price action analysis up into the London session. Up until the London session, these analyses are proven and stated to be actual and true up until that point. Because then if we break out of that 1 hour resistance, 1 hour support, back to the drawing board, looking for the next setup to go into Wednesday's Asian sessiones. But that's all I got for this one. Like and subscribe. Holla at your boy. I'm out of there, bitch. Peace.